This video contains graphic depictions of sexual assault. If this topic makes you uncomfortable, please click off the video now. Adam John Grand Mason, more commonly known by his alias ADAM22, is an American YouTuber, podcaster, and adult film star. In 2006, Adam created the BMXing website, The Come Up. He also created the BMXing team On Some Shit. Originally, No Jumper was a blog created on Tumblr, and it discussed artists such as Gucci Mane, Space Ghost Perp, Clams Casino, and a lot of other underground hip-hop artists buzzing at the time. As of January 2022, the channel has generated over 1 billion YouTube views. Notably, Adam has done interviews with artists such as Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, Lil Peep, Trippie Redd, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Suicide Boys, Young Thug, you name it, he's probably interviewed them on his podcast. Everything seemed to be going well for Adam. He had a wildly successful podcast, was well known in many hip-hop circles, and honestly, he was one of the biggest influencers on any platform at the time. However, recently, there have been some dark allegations surrounding Adam. If these allegations prove to be true, it could mean the end of No Jumper and the end of ADAM22 as a whole, and rightly so. Without further ado, let's get into the dark side of ADAM22. The allegations first started back in 2018. And keep in mind, this is the height of No Jumper. This is when artists like XXXTentacion had already blown up, so that interview on his channel was doing plenty of numbers. In March 2006, Adam was hosting an Ask Me Anything on an online forum. He was answering questions about his sexual history and a lot of the women that he had hooked up with during that time. Personally for me, this is a really weird thing to do, just in general. Putting all these women on blast like that and exposing that they had hooked up with him is just kind of weird to begin with, but I digress. Let's continue the story. In one comment, he allegedly admitted to sleeping with a 17-year-old girl while he was 22 years of age. In another, he typed, 15 is a good age, in response to a user commenting that messaging girls that appear to be 14 or 15 years old based on their photos was weird. So these allegations began to surface in 2017 and 2018, and on July 4th, 2017, Adam tweeted, "There's an account saying that I f***ed a 16-year-old 10 years ago when I was 23, but actually, she was 19, so don't listen to it." Now, supposedly, this puts the allegations to bed, right? He acknowledges the situation, he gives his side of the story, everything should be over, right? Wrong. On March 20th, 2018, @ConnorTripler posted a Twitter thread containing screenshots of alleged evidence that Adam had slept with a 16-year-old girl while he was 23 years of age. Along with these screenshots, there were accusations that he had sexually assaulted her. This thread also included allegations against one of his co-hosts, Lil Housephone, and it contained a link to the forums that we discussed earlier. One of Adam's accusers, Desiree Aleda, made a post to the B9 forums in response. This response directly alleged that Adam abused her, and she called him a serial sexual predator. These allegations came not too long after the time that ADAM22 signed a deal with Atlantic Records to launch the production company of No Jumper. On March 23rd, the day after these allegations, Adam tweeted a statement claiming that Desiree had no evidence to back up her claims, and furthermore, he had emails that completely disproved these allegations. The tweet reads as follows: "My lawyer says that I gotta stop talking on Twitter, but I just wanted to get this out. A girl I dated for a few months 10 years ago is coming out saying that I raped and assaulted her. These claims are new. She has no evidence. I have plenty of emails from her that make it clear how absurd these claims are. You'll probably get to read them all in time. I've done plenty of stupid shit in my life, but I've never raped or hit a woman. I've always been a person who relentlessly documented my life on the internet since I was 15 years old. I grew up on here, and I know how this works. I knew that someday the mob would come for me. I could have stayed a small-time BMX blogger and never had to go through this, but instead I went out and built No Jumper into what it is today. Even though I knew eventually every story and bad joke I wrote over the past 20 years ago would be used against me. I didn't know women from my past would fabricate stories, but I'm ready to face those head-on too. My mission with No Jumper is to cover new and emerging artists and give them a voice. That isn't going to change, no matter what happens as a result of all this. Thanks so much to my amazing girlfriend, all my friends, and everyone who has reached out privately to show support. Following this tweet on March 26th, Twitter user @Helen posted screenshots of the purported victim's statement, along with a screenshot from an old blog post allegedly written by ADAM22 titled The Desiree Story Part 1. In this blog, he seems to admit to dating Aleda when she was 16 and 22, and he wrote, "If statutory is wrong, I didn't want to be right." In this blog post, he also posted a nude image of Desiree, which is completely disgusting. Her age at the time the photo was taken isn't known, but Adam writes that she's 18 or 19 in, quote, most of the pics here, leading me and others to believe that some of those pictures were taken when she was a minor. That same day, Adam posted several tweets about the situation. In the first tweet, he wrote, "It's sad how all it takes is a completely fabricated story from 10 plus years ago to fool so many people. I've got all these old emails from her about our relationship and zero mention of abuse or." In the second set of tweets, he starts sharing emails from Desiree that she sent to him after the blog post about the relationship, in which she speaks cordially with him and she never accuses him of rape or assault. About the first email, he wrote, "Notice how there's no mention of abuse or rape. Does that sound like someone who was in an abusive relationship?" And about the second email, he wrote, "Doesn't this sound dramatically different from the account of our relationship she tells now? Weird how the abuse narrative took 10 years. A few days later, on March 30th, the music blogging website Pitchfork published an article in which it spoke about the two alleged victims of ADAM22, a girl named Dee, which most assumed to be Desiree, and a second nameless victim who goes by Jane. Jane first met Adam in 2005. They both posted on the same message board. One day they made plans to get together in Manhattan, and Jane ended up taking the subway with him back to his apartment in Queens, where he made sexual advances. At first, Jane was okay with it, but she quickly became uncomfortable as it went further and she wanted to leave. Jane said, "I told him I wasn't into it, but he didn't stop and became pretty angry. Meanwhile, I'm not a big girl. I'm 5'4" and Adam is well over 6 feet tall and a pretty big guy. I was terrified and froze while he had sex with basically my lifeless body. I was too afraid to fight back in fear that he would hurt me, so I just laid there in terror. I remember staring out the window and praying it would be over soon. Eventually, he stopped. I changed and immediately left. I remember waiting in the subway, sobbing, thinking I should have fought back. I should have gotten out of there. I felt guilty, violated, and scared." She said she confided in one person who she thought she trusted about the alleged assault, but did not go to the police or other authorities. Jane said, "For reasons I still do not understand, he told Adam," referring to her trusted confidant. Adam immediately took to the public forum we were both members of and plastered my supposed lie all over it. According to Pitchfork, Desiree said that she met Adam through the same message board in 2006. Desiree was 16. Both Desiree and Adam maintain that nothing physical happened at that time, nor did they meet in person, and that they stopped talking when he began seeing someone else. 3 years later, Desiree had just gotten out of a relationship when she had heard from Adam again. He booked her a flight to come see him in New York, but first, around June 2009, he flew to her hometown of Vancouver. Desiree met Adam at the airport and they had dinner. Then they went back to her mother's house where she lived and watched The Office. Desiree told Pitchfork that although she wanted to kiss him, she hadn't wanted to have him that night. "I was like, no, stop," she said. "I was pushing him off me and my hands were pushing him. Really just barricading my with my hands. Like, don't go there. Don't put your fingers there. Don't go anywhere near there. I don't want that." And then he's 6'4" and I'm 5'3". I was like 120 pounds, if that. He easily had 100 pounds on me. When someone is that big and they have the ability to grab both your wrists with their one hand and pull your arms over your head, you can't do anything. And if you try, it'll just get worse and more painful. What are you supposed to do? Adam asked her afterward why she was upset. And she said, "I was like, dude, I told you I wanted to wait. You knew that this was special to me and I wanted to wait. Why did you do that?" She said that he told her to keep what had happened a secret between the two of them, and that he mentioned that he was still getting lots of heat over Jane. If these allegations hold any weight, which in my mind, it seems like they do, Adam needs to be deplatformed immediately. Personally, I think we all should have stopped and taken a breath right there and started asking more questions, trying to figure out the truth. Because if these allegations are true, this is not somebody that the hip-hop community wants to support. However, the reason I'm making this video today is because these allegations resurfaced not too long ago. On March 15th, 2023, Instagram influencer Official Perv Buster posted several videos of himself on an unreleased episode of the No Jumper podcast, in which he brings up ADAM22's allegations to Adam himself. There was a No Jumper live stream, and Official Perv Busters was speaking with the host at the time, who wasn't ADAM22. They were speaking about several different topics, but eventually the topic of ADAM22 came up, and when it did, the live stream was cut short. However, Official Perv Busters continued filming on his phone, and that is where these new allegations came from. In the second video that Official Perv Busters posted, Adam comes in and asks what the problem is. And Official Perv Buster says he'd be a hypocrite if he didn't ask Adam about his allegations.
So what's up with these allegations of Adam fucking with a 16-year-old?
Nah, come on, bro. We can't do that, man.
What you mean we can't do that?
Come on,
but
bro.
wait, no. I'll be a I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address it.
Man, come on.
But I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address it though. Especially with.
Oh man, like this other come on, bro. We can't come on. Man.
I'm just saying. I would. Hey, Flacco. Wait. Flacco. I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address it. When you know what I do. And if some paperwork, hey, hold on, if some paperwork was put up on my table, I'm just a perv buster. So if some paperwork was put up on my table, well, hey, what you doing? You turn. What you doing?
Live over with already now, man.
You said what?
The live over with, man. Man, come on, man. Like,
we just gotta be real about it though. But I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address it.
Some things were said like towards the end, where
About who, Lush?
It was about you.
Yeah, you feel me?
I did.
What? I was like, you feel me?
You want me to talk? If you want me to tell him, you about to tell him. You want me to tell him? So look, bro.
So pretty much.
So look, bro. I can't look. I'm a perv buster. I catch online pedophiles. So we talking about the whole Lush situation and everything, but I'll be a hypocrite if I don't address the situation that happened with you.
There is no situation with me.
The one where you was messing with the 16-year-old girl?
It never happened. What do you think happened? The article says
I'm going
I was
on.
19 when I met her.
She was 19 when you met her?
Yeah. The article says it.
So, but what did you say?
I said that I spoke to her on the phone when she was 16 before I realized that she was.
All right,
she was
well,
underage.
That's how we catch a lot
that's how we
She
catch
was
him.
Canadian. She didn't even know that she was doing something.
It don't even matter, but that's how we
That's
catch
cool that
him.
you felt like you were gonna come on my platform and expose me though. Like, why?
No,
why did you let this happen?
it was just in the midst of the conversation. It was in the midst of, he didn't, hey, it's not on him on nothing. It was in the midst of the conversation.
But you came on my platform and spread lies like that?
Lies?
Lies.
Is it lies?
I mean, you could have done some research and figured out I needed.
Did you talk to her when you were 16?
19, for like 5 minutes when I was 21. I'm 39.
You wasn't 23?
I was. I might have been 21, 22.
How you don't know? How you don't know if you was
Because
21?
it was 20 years ago.
It still happened though, but we can't take that jacket off.
Wait, right?
We can't take that jacket off for nobody.
Right?
You gotta go.
Hey man, you know,
You guys.
let's go. Look, yeah, season 6, nigga.
Adam claims that the article says that she was 19 when he met the victim and that he only briefly spoke to her on the phone when she was 16, not realizing her age, and that once he did, he distanced himself from her. Eventually, Adam got agitated and he kicked out Official Perv Busters for bringing it up. On March 16th, Lil Pump went live on TikTok, and he's filmed several videos with ADAM22 in the past. Lil Pump accuses ADAM22 of sleeping with 16-year-old girls when he was in his 20s and says, quote, "It's on sight when I see him, and he knows that."
I was 16, girls my age, right? Adam was girls that was the same age as me when I was 16. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? You are a straight pedo, and he knows. When I see his ass, it's on sight.
On March 17th, there were many reports that several of Adam's co-hosts had left the show, including AD, T-Rel, and Duno. Although it's unclear why some of the members left, many think that it's about the accusations. Also on March 16th, Joe Budden, retired rapper and hip-hop commentator, interviewed ADAM22 on his AMP show, and that was reposted to the Streets T YouTube channel. The first 30 minutes are spent discussing the co-hosts leaving, but at around the 31-minute mark, Budden asks ADAM22 about the pedophilia allegations and says that he had a problem with Adam telling Perv Busters they were spreading lies. ADAM22 then denies the allegations, saying that he learned she was 16 on the phone, acknowledged that 16 is the age of consent in Canada but not the US, and claims that he did not talk to her after that until they hooked up years later when she was 19. Adam says he also made edgy jokes about the controversy in his past blog.
The universe gave you plenty of times to have nothing to do with this underage girl when she was underage. Then she got older.
No,
She
I didn't meet her until she was of age. Let's just make that perfectly clear.
Yeah. No, but you were speaking to her.
I spoke to her once before.
And you had friends that referred this girl.
Well, see, that's why I thought she was legal, is because I knew other guys that had hung out with her at the time, and I thought that it was, I thought that was a good reference, but it turned out no.
You don't hear how that sounds like some kinky social club shit?
That's when Budden accuses Adam of waiting until that girl was 19. Adam contests that he only hooked up with her years later because he saw her and his recommended friends on Facebook. Finally, on March 28, 2023, ADAM22 addressed the allegations on YouTube during an episode of No Jumper. He said that he had nothing to add after already discussing the allegations in 2018. He also discusses his desire to make the content on the channel less drama-focused.
It's just, I don't have anything more to add. You know, people just want to keep bringing up shit. There's all kinds of fake shit going around. I'm just not really trying to respond to any of it. If anything, the last couple of weeks of my life, like, I'm not going to lie, there was a moment where I kind of just like zoomed out a little bit and I was like, you know, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to put your whole fucking life on camera.
So it appears that for the time being, ADAM22 is not going to be affected by any of these allegations, which to me is a complete miscarriage of justice. They definitely should have law enforcement looking into this. This is endangerment of a child. There's multiple allegations from multiple women, and it's just a little bit too fishy for me. These need to get checked out immediately. With that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.